Hi,
we are the
Cheng
Cheng Brothers, and I'm Andre.
And I'm Garrison.
Alright, so today we are gonna this is the part 2 of the measure words for animals. This is the part 2. We did part 1 last time.
Yeah.
In the last couple of episodes.
Yeah.
Alright. So we're just gonna review the different measure words for the animals. So there's this one. There's a zh, that usually we use this measure word if it is for like smaller animals. And then the second one is toe. We use that measure word for like big and heavy animals like elephants or whales or something like that. And then this one is 条 and then we use it for long and slim animals like snakes and fish. All right. Well, yeah. And these animals we didn't just learn, we learned them in the last episodes, like way in the back. So this is kind of like review. And then there's also numbers that we also learned way in the back, so that is kind of review too. And then the measure animals is the main thing we're focusing on today. All right. So a cat, or in Spanish, a gato or gata, and we're gonna do 7 of them. So we're gonna say 7只猫，7只猫。So this is 7 cats. So or kittens if you think they're more cute.
Yeah.
But for you like see, cats are a little bit smaller than normal animals. So we use 只 because they're not like humongous like elephants. So we obviously don't use the other one.
Yeah.
All right. And then the next one is lion or leon in Spanish. Is and we're gonna do 8 of them this time. So there's 8只狮子，8只狮子. Remember, the 字 isn't necessary at the very end. So if you don't want to say it's okay, but we say it to make it friendlier. So don't just call them like, hey, lion! We call it like, hey, friendly bud, or something like that. So it's a friendlier way of calling those lions. We don't just like, hey, lion! We don't just like call their names.
Hi, sweetheart.
Yeah, kind of like that. Like sometimes when you say someone's name, you don't just yell their name out randomly. Sometimes you're just like, hey, can I talk to you or something like that. Unless your parent is angry. Okay. And then the other one is 八头狮子. You can say, don't have to say this. 八头狮子. Notice this one you can use 2. It could be 只 or 头 because well lions look kind of big, right? But both of these people say, so you can choose which one to use. All right. And then this one is a tiger or tigre in Spanish, which is, yeah. And then we're going to do 9 of them this time. So 9只老虎, 9只老虎. Well, for the tigers, we usually say 只. We don't say 9头老虎 because well, in Chinese grammar or Mandarin grammar, that sounds kind of odd. So we don't use 头, even though
tigers are big.
Yeah, we're just gonna make exceptions.
Yeah.
For these tigers.
Sometimes it's just kind of strange.
Yeah.
We just have to remember that.
Yeah, it's kind of like
it's
kind of like the irregular verbs that you have in English, like ran or ate or something like that. Yeah, you just have to remember it.
Ooh,
all right, so we were trying to find 9 elephants, but apparently we only found 3, so we're just gonna practice our multiplication facts and do 3 times 3 is 9.
Yeah,
all right,
that's pretty cool.
so this is an elephant, or elefante in Spanish. And we're gonna do 9 of them this time. And this is 9只大象，9只大象。And then, yeah, there's 2 of them. We'll talk about that later. 9头大象，9头大象。Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention these are just to help you pronounce better, but they're not really accurate. So if you want to be more accurate, you have to listen to us to speak.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. So 知 you could use 知, but people usually people use 头 because see like elephants are humongous, right? They're not like really little. So you could say both of them. It both works. 知 is the 知 you can use for any animal on the earth. But to make your speaking more smarter, sometimes we just use different measure words to make your speaking a little bit smarter. So you don't always just stick with 知知知知知. All right. Now we were trying to find 10 drafts, but we can't, so we only found 2. So now we're going to practice our multiplication facts again. 2 times 5 equals 10. All right. And then a giraffe or jirafa in which is in Spanish is 十只长颈鹿，十只长颈鹿. Notice that we use 只 for this one, even though they're kind of big, but we don't say 九头长颈鹿 again because that sounds a little odd in our grammar. So yeah, eventually you'll understand that will sound really odd. And then yeah, oh yeah, and notice this animal has 3 characters for their name. The how I remember the 长颈鹿 is there's a 鹿 at the end. That 鹿 means deer in English.
Long-necked
And
deer.
see, doesn't a giraffe look like a deer with long neck? And 长颈 means long neck. So that's how I remember the giraffe in Mandarin or Chinese because it's like a long-necked deer. All right, this is a really special one. And we were trying to find 10 of them again, but we only found 2.
Yeah.
So practice our multiplication facts again. 2 times 5 equals 10. All right. So a dragon or dragon in Spanish is we're gonna do 10 of them this time. 十只飞龙，十只飞龙. Notice we use the 只 and yeah.
And it's more like a mythical creature.
So yeah. We don't usually use 头 because it sounds kind of weird.
Yeah, kind of odd or unusual.
Yeah, even though a dragon does look pretty big.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Alright.
because the worst case for every animal is that you use 知. That's the worst case.
Yeah. Yeah, if
Alright.
you don't know, if you don't know what to use, you can just use 知 because it's the most basic way.
Yeah, you can say 知 all the time.
Yeah, it's
Alright.
just the more basic way.
Yeah.
Alright. And
now Gerson's gonna review the stuff.
I'm gonna start from the beginning. Alright, so these are the measure words for that Andre just said. So like 知 is there's 知 with 知. It's that means like more like small animals and you can use that for every
animal on this planet.
Yeah, you can use it for every planet. I mean every animal on this planet. Because
that is amazing.
And that's the most basic way. And this is toe, and it's usually used on big and heavy animals.
Like an elephant or gorilla.
Yeah. And this is 条, and it's usually used as long and slim animals, like kind of like fish or snakes. Alright. And the first one is the cat or gato or gato in Spanish, and in Mandarin is 七只猫. 七只猫.
Yeah, and
for
we're
this,
reviewing our
yeah,
numbers.
for
Yes.
this, and
Chi
for
is
this one, you
7.
can use the this one in red. You can just always use 只 for that, and this cat is kind of small compared to the other animals, so we just use the 只. We don't use like 头 or something else. Oh, and this one is 八只狮子 or 八只狮子 or a more professional way is 八头狮子八头狮子 and this one you can just use toe because the lion is more like a bigger animal, so you can just use toe for the these lions. And you don't have to say the zi if you don't want to, but it's just a friendlier way. Like you don't just randomly call a lion, come here. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention this at first that Andre said it's just to help you pronounce better, but it's not really accurate. So if you want to be really accurate, you just kind of
You have
have
to
to
listen
listen.
to us again
Yeah,
and again.
yeah. And this one is 九只老虎，九只老虎.
There's 9 of them this time.
And
Show
this
is
one is
9.
really interesting. Like Andre said, tigers are big animals, but they don't use toe because it's kind of odd in our Mandarin grammar. So
Yeah.
yeah, we don't use
Some
that.
of that stuff you kind of have to
Yeah,
memorize, or else people are like,
yeah.
hey, why do you speak such weird Mandarin?
Yeah. All right. So, and this one we were like Andre said, we were trying to find 9 elephants, but apparently that is kind of hard, and we did not find it. So, all right. And this one is 九只大象，九只大象. Or to a more professional way, it's 九头大象，九头大象. So this 头 is a more the more professional way. So yeah, and you can use the 之 for all of them. And this one apparently we did not find that much. We didn't find the 10 drafts, so we just used these
2 times 5.
Yeah, 2
Yeah,
times 5
10.
is 10. Yeah, just practicing multiplication. And this one is 十只长颈鹿，十只长颈鹿. So this one you don't really have to use any other professional way. And and there's this mistake over here. It said 长bills because this actually word has two sounds you can pronounce it, but in this case it's 长.
Not
Yeah,
长, but the
it says
pinyin at the
长.
bottom
Yeah,
says 长. But we just wanted to know it's 长,
yeah,
not 长.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
that word, that little character has 2 pronunciations.
This,
Like in English, there's a and a.
yeah.
Like I have a lunch, or I have
have
a
a
lunch.
lunch.
Yeah,
That's
kind of
right.
like that.
And that's basically a draft.
Yeah.
But and the next one um is the dragon, and we didn't find 10 of them, so we just practice our multiplication again. 2 times 5 is 10, and so this one is 十只飞龙，十只飞龙. And as Andre mentioned, this is kind of like we mentioned, it's kind of like a mythical creature, and it's kind of odd to say that it's there is like 石头飞龙. It's kind of weird to say that.
So,
Yeah,
alright.
all right. So it's really cool. So,
Now
all right.
this is the summary. So basically, we're gonna mention a MVP. So a MVP for horse, the measure word is P. That's the only special one that you have to remember. It's in the last episode.
Good.
And otherwise than that, for anything, if you don't know what to use, you could just use 之.